Okay. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh my god. Yeah, so we're here. Took a little bit longer to set up than anticipated. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh. Configuration. I'm not quite sure. Streamlabs is telling me that I'm not logged into Twitch, which is fascinating because I'm pretty sure I'm streaming right now. I'm not quite sure how I'm streaming without being logged in. Hold, please. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. I'm excited to play Final Girl. Okay. Log in. Your password was incorrect. I'm pretty sure it's not. Enter the authenticator code. Sorry. I thought because I was live I'd be logged in. Apparently you don't have to be logged in to stream. I did update, oh god, Streamlabs because I was having an issue. There we go. All right. I was having an issue with my Mac and cache and whatever the crap else. So I had to revert to a previous version of Streamlabs. So that probably explains why I wasn't logged in for my chat. But we're here. So this is Final Girl. If you're not familiar with it, it's a tabletop single player horror survival game. There's a lot of different expansions, I guess, for lack of a better term for it. They're based on different horror movies, or a lot of them take inspiration from horror movies. Some of them are kind of their own thing, but you know, there's one that's kind of based off of Nightmare on Elm Street with this Dr. Fright character. There's one that's based on Strangers, which has a new movie coming out soon, very soon. But we are going to be playing the one that is called Panic at Station 2891. I always forget what the number is. So this one here is based on The Thing. And I thought this one was appropriate because there's like 2 feet of snow outside and it's like 0 degrees. So we are going to play with this. I have a little bit more setup to finish here. Just kind of with some tokens and whatnot to lay out. So give me a moment to work on that. And we will get started as soon as possible. I am going to have to reread the special setup for this and make sure that I remember how to do it because it has been a little while since I've played this version. I was kind of on a kick with it for a little while. But it's been a bit. So we're going to do our best. Special rules and setup. Let's see. All right, so we have our setup, which tells us where we need to place everybody. So this is me, the final girl, the pink meeple, and I'm going to be in the radio realm. So with this game, normally you know who the killer is. There's a killer on the board somewhere. With this particular feature film, the killer hasn't been revealed yet, right? Because some of the victims on the board are infected. So we have to test them, figure out who's got the mutation, and then they kind of become the killer. I want to like move this camera a little bit, but I don't know how well that's gonna work. Every time I play this, I keep saying I want to get different cameras, and then I don't. But my birthday is a month from yesterday. So if anyone wants to get me something, new camera money would be good for this purpose. All right. So, placing victims. Randomly place the red, black, and gray one at a time in place of 3 of the yellow victims. So we're going to put our exposed victims on the board. I guess there's one here, and then I'll put one here. And then we fill in the rest with regular victims. 2, 1. So one of the interesting features of this version in particular is that there's a frostbite component. If you're outside, you can get frostbite, which is not good. So again, it seemed fitting since it's like 0 degrees outside. All right, so we have them. So there's 3 potential killers. You do have a chance of only getting one of them mutating, but there's potential to have up to 3 killers. There's also a helicopter that you can use to save victims. The helicopter, there's supposed to be a token. Oh, it's over here. Helicopter token needs to be placed here. So that's the only way out of here is via the helicopter. All right, we'll deal with the helicopter when we get there. Frostbite. Okay, the test kits is what I need to figure out where to put those. So the test kits, I'll show you what they look like. Ah, fuck. There's so many pieces. Test kit, they're like little petri dishes. They've got the little piece of wire or copper, whatever it is. If you've seen the movie. Okay. So the test kit or the lab space. How do I know what space is the lab? I think it's this one. No, it's the one that says lab. Okay, well that would make sense. So I'm going to deal out the item cards as I normally would. Special rules. All right, we'll hang on to this because this is going to tell us how to use the test kits when we get to that part. I think for the most part I remember how to play. Okay. We'll kind of try to figure it out as we go along because I don't want to spend too much time setting up. I was hoping to be set up before I went live, but it took a little longer than expected. So deal out our items. Of course, I'm not really counting. I think that was 3. And then the 4th one gets flipped over. You also start with a 2-way radio. So I'm going to put that in my hands. So our test results. Even with like the playmat, there's like not enough room for all of the freaking components that this one has. 2-way radio. And that is a limited use item, so I need my markers for that. So with the two-way radio, you can use that to move victims. Normally, victims will like follow you from space to space, and you can get them to an exit space on the board to rescue them. But in this one, you have the radio, and you can basically like tell victims to like get to the chopper. Wrong movie, but still relevant. So they can be rescued. So we have that. I'm sorry, I'm like dehydrated today, so I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of water. I think we're okay to start. Just trying to think if I'm missing anything, but I think we're good to go. So I'm going to flip our starting event. All right, here we go. We'll start our timer now. Starting event is heavy storm. Can't see a goddarned thing. When moving outside, all of your moves are panicked. You may spend time to re-roll as many times as you wish and can afford. I've gotten this one before. It's a pain in the ass. Basically, if I'm outside, there's like a blizzard going on. You can't see anything. So I don't really get to choose what spaces I'm moving between. I have to roll a dice, and the dice is going to choose which direction I go because I'm lost. I can't see anything, whatever. Fortunately, I am inside the building. Just me. So I ain't going outside. All these motherfuckers are outside. Okay, great. So we did our starting event. So we are going to start with our action phase. Oh, I'm nervous. All right. If you've ever watched me play Final Girl before, you know that my favorite thing to do first is play the focus card. So we're going to do that first. We got to focus. We got to bring it in. Everyone's freaking out. Hell yeah. Double success. So that's very nice. So we bring the horror level down by 2 and we gain 2 time. Don't know how that works, but it does. I'm going to put my played cards up here for now because I'm feeling short on space. I'm not sure what it is. Last time I played, I had these on opposite sides, so I think that's tripping me up, but we'll see. I need a bigger desk. All right, that was pretty good. I think I'm going to play my other focus card because I start with 2. I don't think I'm going to have the same luck with this one. We got 1 success, so that's good. I know the dice are hard to see because the thing I'm rolling them in is like the same exact color. I need to get another dice tray. So this is my wish list. Dice tray, different camera stands, bigger desk. No, I'm just kidding. My desk is fine. If I get better cameras, I think it'll be easier too. Okay, so 1 success means we lose 1 time, but we also bring the horror level down. So that's still pretty good. I don't even know what I want to do. So can victims still follow me? Like, I know I have the radio, but I feel like that's an option. So exposed victims, I need to know if they will follow me. Exposed victims are considered regular victims following exceptions. They can't be targeted by a mutated organism. They cannot be saved. They cannot be replaced with special victims. They always panic during the panic phase, even if no victims were killed, because they're crazy. If killed by a game effect, immediately draw a test results card and apply the effects. All right, I think you can have them follow you, but you can't rescue them. Because you have to bring them, if you don't have a test kit from the items, you have to bring the victims to the lab to test them. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to follow you. They're just crazy. So that being said, I am going to walk, or try to, Might trip and fuck myself up, but we'll see. Ooh, 1 success and 1 partial success. So I have like my own point of clarification that I wanted to know is, can I move like through the same space back and forth? Because that's kind of what I want to do. 2 or more spaces, you can move up to the number of times indicated. For each move, you can only move into an adjacent space, obviously. Any movement you decide not to use is lost. You may move to and from the killer space without restriction or penalty. When leaving a space containing 1 or more victims, you may take up to 2 victims with you. They won't follow you into a killer space. Okay. It doesn't say I can't like cross over the same space twice within 1 movement. Some board games are like that. So what I'm gonna do, well, first of all, let me review my dice. So I have 1 success and 1 partial success. So we're playing walk. So if I change the partial success, I'm going to discard 2 cards, flip that bad boy to a star. So with 2 stars, I can move up to 2 spaces. So here's what we're going to do. 2 movement. Here's me. I'm going to go from the radio room to this room. That's 1. Grab this dude and then go back into the radio room or 1 space closer to the lab. Okay. Brilliant. I don't know if I want to test victims early, because if he's mutated, then, you know, we're kind of in trouble. I'm going to walk again and see if we can bring him to the lab. Great. That was a fail. So I can move up to 1 space and lose a health because walking's painful, or I can lose 2 time. I kind of want to just do it. Like, I feel like playing a little bit recklessly right now. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose 1 health. And we are going to move with our exposed victim. I feel like everything's crooked. To the lab. Okay. So... performing a test. Okay. You can use the lab space to test an exposed victim when you're in their space. This is a free action and does not cost time. Either discard the test kit or simply bring them to the labs and draw a test results card. All right, so let's do the test results card. So we have a little deck over here of test results. It's been shuffled. I haven't looked at it. I'm going to draw the top one. And this victim is safe, so they are not assimilated. Replace the exposed victim with a normal victim and remove this card from the game. So this is kind of where your chances of getting an exposed victim increase. I think there's actually only 1 test result that says they're assimilated. But when you draw a safe card, that gets discarded. It doesn't go back in the rotation, so it gets kind of freaky. So we're gonna discard that guy. This one is going away, and they're just a normal victim now. So good for you. I need to read examples. Let's see. Okay. So once they're safe, remove the test result card from the game. Replace the meeple with yellow. Important, shuffle the assimilated test results card back into the deck. So I don't have to shuffle anything right now. But we've basically got a 50-50 chance next time. Okay. Bro. So I'm going to end my action phase. I'm out of action cards. I can't really do anything else. I mean, I have the radio. I have a little bit extra time, so I can tell victims to move if I want to try to save. There's a lot of victims near the frickin' helicopter. So I might try to save them. I can save up to 3 victims on the helicopter. Use it. The radio says used to move a victim 1 space at the cost of time. May not be used on the same victim more than once in a single turn. I mean, that's fine. There's a bunch of dudes chilling next to the helicopter, so let's freaking go, man. Alright, so I'm going to use 1 use of my radio and use 1 time. I'm going to move this victim to the helicopter space. We're going to do another one. 2nd use. Time is now down to 5. I'm going to move, let's move this guy. Okay. I want to use it again. I think I will just because I want to get it over with. So third use, third victim. Time is going down to 4. And then these guys need to go back in their bag because they're teeny tiny. This is like the most choking hazard piece of a board game I've ever seen. So they're going to go back in the bag. All right, so we moved 3 victims to the helicopter space. This thing always kind of confuses me because the rules kind of just say they can move freely onto the helicopter once they're there. And it seems a little too easy. So when the helicopter token is on the exit space, which it is, it hasn't gone anywhere, you may freely move it and up to 3 victims that are with it on the exit space onto the Arctic Station 2891 space of the helicopter card. So the helicopter has its own kind of little card that I just kind of set aside because I don't have room to put it. And then there's a way to move the helicopter from the station into the air into the airport. So it's technically at the station right now, even though it's on the board. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can even see this card. It's way over here because that's where it fits right now. I'm going to plug in these 3 victims into these little slots. So they are on the helicopter. Helicopter, you can move it freely onto the card. So the helicopter's at the station with 3 victims aboard. They can't be targeted or killed, so that's good. They're very close to safe. So we need the helicopter action card in order to move the helicopter. It's actually not as easy as you might think. So I'm going to end my action phase at this point because there's not much else I can do. So we're going to move into our planning phase, which means I get to purchase cards. And I have 4 time with which to spend. So I'm obviously going to get the helicopter card. Duh. So that's 1. So we're down to 3. Where am I? I'm going to want to search eventually, but I think for right now, I'm just going to focus on saving the victims. So I'm going to take the 2 close call cards that cost 1 time. I have 1 extra time, but it doesn't roll over, so that's just going to kind of get wasted. All right, so that's our planning phase. When that's over, we reset our time to 6, return our discarded cards to the tableau. So those are going to go there. My giant dice skull is going to hang out right there. Okay, so feeling pretty good about that. Killer phase. There's really no killer phase yet because none of the victims have been assimilated. So there's nothing I can do for that, which feels really weird, but there's no killer. But in our panic phase, the exposed victims always panic. So luckily we got rid of 1 of the exposed victims, so I don't have to do this as much. So let's look at our location board. So my exposed victims right now are the red and the gray one. Ooh, you can't even see the gray one. I gotta get a better camera for over here. This one's a little fuzzy. The other one's really good though. So let's panic the red one. So we rolled a 1, so he's going to go out in the hallway. Oh god, I forgot about the hallways in this map. The gray one, let's panic him. He gets a 2, 1 to 3, so he's also in the hallway. I'm not even going to like deal with that right now. Okay, so that's complete. We have our upkeep phase. I can rearrange items in my backpack. All I have is my 2-way radio. I don't really need to do anything else there. So that's good. So we're going to go back to our next action phase. Oh, I always feel like I'm missing something. There's so much to do. All right, well, let's try to move this helicopter. Fly faster. All right, so we're gonna roll our dices. All right, I got 1 partial success. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? am going to... Oh, God. All right. I'm feeling lucky. I'm going to... So the problem is I won't have enough cards to discard, so if I don't roll something, then I'm kind of screwed. I'm going to spend one time to re-roll both dice. Cross your fingers. Okay, that's good. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I could use this to re-roll my other one, but I mean, it doesn't cost anything. Whatever, fine. So I'm putting this aside because I don't want to screw it up. All right, that did nothing. Totally fine. So we get to move one space with the helicopter. So he's going from the station to the air. And I lose one time. So that's fine. So we did that. I can't really do anything else because I don't have any more action cards, but I do have one more use on my radio. And there is another exposed victim in the hallway, which is adjacent to the lab. I could use my radio to move him to the lab and test him. Right? I think that's accurate. I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's tough to test the exposed victims in the lab because they panic every turn. So if he's in the lab and it's at the panic phase, like, he's just gonna run away. But I think I can do it in my action phase. So I'm going to use my final use of my radio at the cost of time. So that's gonna go down to 3. So I'm gonna have like no action cards next turn. And then I get my freebies back, so that's good. And then this gets discarded. So our little exposed guy, I could actually do the red one or the gray one. It doesn't really matter, but the gray one's closer, so I'm going to move him into the lab. This is interesting because there's a victim in here too, so if he mutates, he could potentially kill that victim in the next turn. So this is going to be really interesting to see the outcome here. So we are testing the gray victim. So our test results say... Oh no! He's assimilated! Ah! Okay. It's gonna be okay, you guys. So, the gray one, I didn't put these out here, but I don't think it really matters. Oh, well, he's safe, so we don't have to worry about him. The gray one, we're gonna go with this. Ooh, let me move this. I have to shuffle these back anyway. I'm gonna move this over so we can see everybody. Look at our beautiful, beautiful victims. Crap. So who do we have for a monster? We have this guy. I like this guy. I forget what his name is. They all have names. So that's our monster. And these are his abilities and stats and everything. Which I know you can't read, but we'll take a look at that. So he's going to go right here. We're going to give him a final health token. He's got 7 health. So I need 6 of these babies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 plus his final token. That makes him a 7. And then I'm supposed to apply the current bloodlust level, but I don't think the bloodlust has gone up at all. So nothing to do there. All right. I am... Okay. So this killer, he heals himself. This is basically his jam. But he's at full health, so it's fine. I forgot to draw a terror card last time during the killer phase. I should probably do that. I know I was forgetting something. Alright, let me do that real quick, and then we'll continue with whatever the hell I was just doing. So I technically haven't ended my action phase yet. The killer is mutated. Let me just see what else happens if he's assimilated. Place a token matching the meeple above the card. Set up. I'm supposed to do the rightmost card. I did the leftmost one. Don't judge me. Set up the health and final token. Apply all the bloodlust effects. Which we don't have any. That's all it says. This is so crazy. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna draw a tarot card because I didn't do it in the first round. So remove one normal victim from the game, choosing one in an outdoor space if able, and then increase the bloodlust. Okay, so this is fun. So I have to remove one random victim. I'm just gonna take the one that's in the killer's space because that's what I'm gonna do. And then the bloodlust is gonna go up. So that's cool. And then, so here's the thing. I was supposed to draw this before the killer was exposed. So I'm not gonna do this part. Frostbite. I think that symbol just means if someone has frostbite, then they take a damage. Oh, no, anybody in an outdoor space takes a damage. Gains a frostbite token or lose 1 health if they already have frostbite. Okay, that's right. So anybody in an outdoor space gets frostbite, but they don't take damage until their next turn. So they're just getting really cold right now. Kind of like everybody else. It's been outside this month. Okay. So those 3 have frostbite. During the upkeep phase, discard all frostbite tokens for anyone indoors. Okay. So that was our first tarot card. So back to our regularly scheduled program. That was really my action phase. So I'm gonna go in my planning phase. I only have 3 time to spend. Alright, I get my 0 cost action cards back. And then I have 3. I kind of want to search. I don't have a lot of items. So I'm going to take a search. That pretty much uses up all my time. So we're going to reset that to 6. Put these back. Okay. Oh, wait. I just realized this tarot card, one of the last step in it was to move the helicopter. But I think this is a problem. If you skip a step, it's like there's this whole domino effect. Because I got those victims on the helicopter during my action phase, and then I kind of skipped the killer phase because we didn't have a killer. I'm trying to remember if the victims were already on the helicopter when I was supposed to draw the tarot card. I think they were, but I'm gonna not do it because it was my mistake and it feels unfair to advance the helicopter because I would save 3 victims and that would give me a pretty big advantage right now. So I'm just gonna skip it for now. We'll try to move it in a couple turns when I get the card back. So that was my planning phase. So that's reset. So now we go into the killer phase. So I have to resolve the killer action, which for him it's just healing. And then we're drawing a tarot card for reals this time. Which is great because I'm in the space with the freaking killer. It could be anywhere or anyone. If there are no exposed victims in play, discard this card. We do still have one who's exposed. Roll a die for each normal victim. If a 1 is rolled, it trades spaces with the farthest exposed victim. You can lay a victim on its side to designate that it has been rolled for. That's a lot of victims, bro. Okay. Ugh. Roll a 1 for each normal victim. I'm going to start with the ones that are outside because I want to bring them inside. That's a 5. I have to roll a 1. So we're going to say that was for you. Another 5 for you. 6 for you. I'm just going to go like counterclockwise, I guess. 2. Rec Room Buddy 3. And 3. Alright, so nobody trades places with the red guy. So I'm just going to stand these guys back up. Everybody just blacked out for a second. No big deal. Alright, so now we have a killer action. The killer is going to target the final girl or a victim. In this case, it's going to be I think it's supposed to be whoever's closest, which is me. Target closest victim or final girl. It's fine. It's fine. Target is whomever is closest. I think it's supposed to be whoever, but it's fine. So he's supposed to move towards me and attack. He's already in my space, so he doesn't need to move. So he's going to attack me. Killer's attack right now is still 1 damage. So he's going to deal 1 damage to me because I don't have anything to defend myself with right now. So I am going to lose a health, which is great. And that tarot card is resolved, so that's basically all we needed to do there. Cool. So I'm going to move on to the panic phase. No victims were killed. So I don't have to panic any victims, but the exposed victims always panic. So this red guy here is going to panic. So we're going to roll. We're getting a 2, so he's going in here. Great. Awesome. Upkeep phase. This is where everyone gets frostbite. No. They get they discard their frostbite token if they go inside. Whereas nobody went inside. Okay. Alright, we're going to move on to the next action phase. Let's see what we can cook up here. So these are my cards. I'm going to, I guess I'll play my focus cards again, and then I need to rest. I'm still in the same space as the killer. This is kind of the drawback with bringing them to the lab here. So focus, I'm rolling 2 dice. Got 1 success, good enough for me. 1 success is our horror level goes down by 1. We lose 1 time, and I gained a dice. Yay! Alright, I'm going to use my short rest and hopefully recover some health because it's not looking good. God damn it! Alright, so 1 success. So I gain 1 health and lose 1 time. So here's a health, and then we're losing time. That's fine. I could attack this killer because he's in my space and I have a weak attack, but this killer regenerates health, so it's kind of pointless because I can really only do 1 damage to him. Not worth it. I gotta get some weapons. So we're going to mosey. Let's roll my 3 dice. Get the fuck out of dodge. Or not. 2 partial successes. Eek! I'm going to discard my focus and weak attack to change one of these. So then we get move up to 1 space and lose 1 time. I'll account for the time loss and then figure out where I want to go. The fuck away from you. I guess I'll just go in the hallway for now. I want to get to the supply closet so I can search for supplies. So that's where we are for that. I do have one other walk card, so I guess I might as well play that and see if I can move another space. Let's see. Fuck. Fuck. That is a failure. So I can move 1 space if I want to lose health. Or I can just lose 2 time. I only have 3 time. I think I'm gonna lose a health. This is so bad. Or you lose 2 time either way. God damn it. 2 time. And move 1 space. So I am gonna move into the supply closet. So here we are in the supply closet. Do I want to waste my search card? Like, if I don't get a success, I don't have anything to discard. I might save it till my next turn. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's hold on to that right now. This is concerning. Alright, I'm going to end my action phase and go into my planning phase. This sucks. So I'm going to take the helicopter card because I want to get these victims moved out. And then my 0 cost action cards get returned. My time goes back up to 6. I only had the 1 time, so it is what it is. That helicopter's been in the air for a very long time. Alright, so we have Fly Faster and Search. Those here so you can see what cards are in my hand. Alright, let's move on to the next killer phase. So, like I said, he regenerates health, but we haven't hit him yet, so no worries there. So we're going to draw the next terror card. Have you seen how disgusting it is? If there's no mutated organism, draw this, discard this card. Otherwise, we get to increase our horror level by 2, so that's brilliant. So that's going there. We're losing a dice. If there's more than 1 mutated organism in play, then you go up again. There is not. So that's that. That's our killer phase. Nothing else to do there. We're going to do our panic phase. The exposed victim always panics. No other victims were killed. So we're going to panic our red dude again. 2, going back out in the hallway. He's just like running in and out of that room over and over. Okay. Upkeep phase. I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe I'm not. This is actually in the wrong space. That needs to be over there. Okay. No, I think that's all I need to do right now. Upkeep phase. All right, let's go back to our action phase. We haven't had any other events either, which is weird. And I haven't been outside, so I haven't had to deal with the heavy storm thing. And no victims have died, so the bloodlust hasn't gone up. It's very slow moving, at least in the beginning. All right. Back to the action phase. I'm going to use Fly Faster because I want to move that helicopter, even though I only have 2 dice and nothing to really fall back on. I don't really want to waste this card, though, either, but I really want to save those victims. Oh, God. I'm playing a little bit recklessly today, more than I normally do. Son of a bitch. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? If I lose 2 time, I can try again. I'm gonna do that because I really need this to work. But I have to roll a 5 or a 6, so I don't have good chances with only 2 dice. God damn it. Alright, so then I lose a time. Alright, that was completely pointless. Thanks for that. Alright, I'm not even gonna do my search card because if I fail, I have nothing to help myself. I need more cards. I've been very careless with my time so far this round. So fuck that. Planning phase, I have 3 time. I'm going to take my 0 cost action cards. And then I have 3 that I can spend. I really wish there was more than 1 helicopter card. 3. I think I'm going to take the guard card and a close call. Just kind of seems like something I should have at this point. Alright. The problem is I keep discarding all my 0 cost action cards to change results and whatnot, and then I end up with no cards for my next turn. Okie dokie. So that's my planning phase. We're gonna reset everything. This helicopter has just been floating around in the air for like days. Alright, so let's go back to the killer phase. Like I said, he regains health, but he's not been hit because I suck. So we're just going to draw a terror card. We're running out of these very, very quickly. Survive at all costs. If there's no mutated organism in play, increase the bloodlust, but there is. The mutated organism is going to target whoever's closest, victim or final girl. It's me. And then move and then attack. So... Oh, but he only has a movement speed of 1, yeah? Ooh, we didn't resolve this bloodlust effect. When the hell did that happen? Alright, whatever. Wait, so the killer is this one. He's in the lab, so he's gonna move towards a victim or the final girl, whoever's closest. I feel like it's me. He's gonna go in the hallway. Movement speed is only 1. I was supposed to have him move towards the victim earlier, but it really wouldn't have changed much because all the victims are very, very far away. So I'll leave him there. He's supposed to attack. There's nobody in his space to attack. Victim was killed. They weren't, so nobody cares. Alright. Panic phase. Exposed victim always panics. He's getting a 6. That means he goes in here. That's crazy. Alright, let's go back to our action phase. This is like a really weird rhythm of this session, I feel like. Action phase. I have a lot of action cards right now. I'm gonna play focus because it's my favorite. I got 1 success and 1 partial success. I kind of don't want to discard things because I've been shooting myself in the foot with that lately. So we're playing focus. It would be really nice to have... Actually, no, you know what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I want to get the horror level down. So, 1 success. Horror level goes down by 1. We lose 1 time. I'm going to play my other one. That one got a double success. Nice. So horror level also goes down by 1 and we gain 2 time. So that worked out pretty well. And I get an extra dice. So I want to... I'm still in the search space, so I can search. Look at all my cards. I'm going to search. I do want to do my short rest at some point too, but I'm going to search first. I'm scared. I'm going to use both hands because this is a lot of dice. Oh my god. Ooh, okay. The question is, do I want to discard and make this even better? Let's take a look at our items and see what I have to choose from. We have a flare gun. Another two-way radio or a flamethrower. Why is there an asterisk? What does the asterisk mean? This must be kept in your hands and you may not have any items in your backpack. May be used once per action phase to deal damage. Oh, equal to half the killer's current health, rounded down. Or to kill all minions in your space. What minions? That's kind of badass. It's close range. I don't know how I feel about that. I also like the flare gun. Can only be used with weak attack if damage is dealt to the killer. You decrease the horror level. That's nice. You can also use it outdoors to move victims closer to you. Oh wait, no, I have to go by the space I'm in. I'm in the supply closet, so we have to do the flare gun. I need to get my ass to the commander's hut and get that flamethrower. Alright, so we're losing one time, and we're taking the flare gun, which is pretty nice. Alright, flare gun. One-handed weapon, that is gonna go over here. And we have to give him 2 uses. Man, I got really excited about the flamethrower, but it's literally on the opposite corner of the board. Flare gun. So this will add 1 damage to our attack. The nice thing about this is it adds range. So I can be a space away from the killer to use that. Okay. How's everybody doing? I know this is kind of a grind. This game takes a lot of focus, but it's really fun once you get into it. Like I said, I haven't played this one in a little while, so I'm like trying to remember all the things because there's kind of a lot. So I'm still in my action phase. We did the search. Ooh, I wanted to use my short rest. Let's do that. See if we can recover some health because I've been kind of careless with it here. Woohoo! Double success. So we regain 2 health. No questions asked. And I think that's going to bring me back up to max. Yep. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Since we did good with that, I think I'm going to use one of my walk cards. If I can get... Ooh, we have to be in an adjacent space from the killer. He's in the hallway. If I can move 1 space, I can use my weak attack and shoot him with the flare gun, which will do 2 damage. He recovers damage, but it also decreases the horror level if we cause damage, so that's kind of nice. All right, so that's going to be our plan. Let's see if we can execute that. So we're walking. God damn it. Fuck. All right, I'm going to discard my other walk and my close call. Sometimes with the close call cards, like you can re-roll, but a lot of times I just use them as discards. It's just easier. So we're going to discard 2, change the partial success to 1 success, so I get to move 1 space and lose time. Time lost. Did I do anything else that caused me to lose time? Because I feel like I shouldn't have that much time, but whatever. Move up to 1 space. So I'm going to move out here. So that's that. So the gray guy's in the hallway. I'm in that room. I can shoot him from that room because I have the flare gun. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. We're going to use weak attack. I really need this to work. Kind of risky. If it doesn't work, I'm in trouble. I shouldn't be doing this without cards to discard. Oh my god, look at that. We got triple stars, which is just literally overkill, except not. Okay, so we're doing 1 damage at range with a 2nd damage. So I'm dealing 2 damage to the killer. Let's resolve that. So he's losing 2 health. He's going to regain one in about 30 seconds. So that's that. And then we also, if damage is dealt to the killer, reduce the horror level. So we're going to do that. I'm assuming it just means regardless of how much damage you do, you just reduce the horror level by 1. It's not like per damage dealt or anything. So we're just reducing it by 1. And then we're going to consume 1 use of the flare gun because it's only got 2 uses. All right, radical. Minor progress. And we still have our guard card, so that's good because the killer's in the next space, so he's probably going to be coming over. But I still have 3 dice. Okay, let's move on to our planning phase. I just used that, so that needs to go in the discard pile. I have 5 time. I still kind of feel like I'm not supposed to have that much, but we'll see what happens. I'm definitely getting fly faster. We need to get this freaking helicopter out of here. It's gonna bring me down to 4. I think, what do I want to do on my next turn? Fucking nothing. I want to save those damn victims. Give me something I can discard. Alright, I'll take a sprint. No, wait. I have 4. I want the close call. So let me do that. So we're at 3. I can do distraction or improvise or just take one of the 2. I guess I'll take improvise. I don't really need distraction right now because my horror level's pretty low. All right, that's going to be my planning phase. I'm going to put these in my hand. I'm so scared. And then these go back. Okay, planning phase is over. Killer phase. Like I said, he heals apparently, so there you go. That's basically all he does. And then we're gonna do our terror card. So what do we got? Someone is destroying the tests. Oh, come on. Destroy the test kit from the location that is closest to you. Oh, I forgot that I can choose test kits from the locations, but it's fine. So we're discarding one of the test kits. Great. 1 normal victim within 2 spaces of that associated space is killed. 1 victim within 2 spaces from that associated space is killed. I don't think anyone qualifies. It's this space. Are we talking about adjacent spaces? Because the red dude is technically 2 spaces away, but they're not connected. 1 normal, oh, normal victim. Okay, yeah, there's no normal victims. I don't know. The normal people are all outside getting frostbite. And then the killer is going to move towards the closest victim. 2 movement. And his movement speed is still 1. This is really confusing the way this is laid out. Okay. 2 movement, so 1, 2. That's not good. Alright. So that was our killer phase. We're going to do our panic phase. No victims were killed, but our exposed victim always panics. So we roll a dice. We got a 1. Exposed victim is going to go back in the hallway. Just back and forth the entire game. All right, panic phase, upkeep phase. I think that's it. I think that's all. I haven't drawn a single event this whole time. Like, it feels wrong. Usually, like, the terror card will tell you to draw an event. We haven't drawn any events. It's really strange. Okay. And that's why I'm paranoid about my upkeep phase. I'm like, what else do I need to do? But nothing. And nobody's really dying. Like, technically, we had one person disappear. I don't really know if he died, but... Okay, I'm going to move on to my action phase because I don't know what's happening. So, we're going to play action cards. I guess I could play my improvise and then my fly faster. I think I'm going to do that. Holy shit, that is the second triple star I've rolled today. Don't really need it, but thanks. So until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. That feels like a little bit of a waste because I only have one thing I can play, but it's fine. So for our helicopter, all 3s and 4s are successes. Let's see what we can get. Well, you're all successes, so technically we got 3. Thanks, improvise. So, oh, I forgot to reset my time at the beginning. So we're gonna lose 1 time. Dirt. And the helicopter gets to move twice. Helicopter has been in the air for 1,000,000 years. Is landing at the Arctic airport. I just want to double check the rules. To save victims, the helicopter must reach the Arctic airport. If the helicopter reaches the airport outside of the action phase, apply the effects from saving the victims at the beginning of your next action phase. We are within our action phase. Sometimes the tarot cards will tell you to move the helicopter, so that's why it specifies that. We are in the action phase, so I get to apply the victim perks right away. Apply the effects from saving the victims. After the victims have been saved, you may begin moving the helicopter back to Arctic Station, landing freely. I don't really know what that means. We made it to the airport. We're saving victims. I have 3 victims. This is amazing. So we only have 4 victim slots. I don't need health. So we're definitely taking Furious Strike. We're going to redeem that perk. I will gain the 2 time. And then I guess we'll move 1 space because that's the only other thing I can do. I mean, technically, I guess I don't have to. The only place I can go is in the hallway, which is where... Oh no, that's not the killer. The red guy is just an exposed victim. I can go in the hallway or I can go back in the supply closet and do another search. I don't know what I want to do. I guess I'll go back in the supply closet. Screw you guys. Alright, that's that. There's really not much else I can do right now. So I'm going to end my action phase. Okay. Ending the action phase. Entering my planning phase, I have 7 time, which is nice. I get my 0 cost action cards. I want to make sure I don't go over the hand limit of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7. Maybe I'll just be a brat and take critical blow and close call and then not take one of these. That sounds like a plan. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. The retaliate card would have been nice though, but I'm not that close to the killer, so I don't really think it matters that much. Plop these in here. Alright, these can go back. Improvise, where did you come from? Alright, planning phase, reset that. I'm going back to the killer phase. Oh god, he's recovering health again. He's impossible to kill. Unless I deal, like, 7 damage to him in 1 blow. Like, there's no freaking point. He's regenerating. And then I have to do a terror card. It must be you. If there's no victims on the board, blah, blah, blah. If there are any victims in your space, take damage per victim. There aren't. The victims have really been, like, not key players. They're all just hanging out in the rec room, minding their own business. In each space with at least 2 victims, and at least one is a normal victim, 1 normal victim is killed. Okay, I think I've done this one before. So each space with 2 victims, we do have 2 of those. So 1 normal victim is killed. So our rec room people, 1 of them is going to die. So I'm going to remove that victim, which means we increase the bloodlust. I don't know how to keep track of this because I need to apply these effects. But I don't know if I do them immediately or when the killer phase happens. I guess I'll just do it now. He's supposed to move towards the victim, but there's 1 in his space, so I think I'm just going to leave him there. I don't want him to move. So that's 1 victim. Our other dude who's outside who has frostbite, he's going to die. So that can go away. He's going to go in the dead pool. And then we raise the bloodlust again. Ooh, now we get an event! Yay! Except probably not, because they're usually bad. And then he's supposed to walk towards the victim, but like I said, there's 1 in his space, so like why would you walk across the other side of the board? So let's resolve our event. Event says there's been an accident in the lab. That sounded like an explosion. Ooh! An explosion has occurred in the lab. Anyone in the lab immediately takes damage. There's nobody there. Place the hole. I gotta find my hole. Hold on. Place the hole. Ready? Hole. Place the hole token over the bottom wall of the lab. If you've seen the movie The Thing, you understand what's happening. The lab is now adjacent to the outdoor space next to it. So we blew a hole in the lab, so I can now go in and out of that hole in the wall if I want to go outside. Which I kind of don't, but thanks. I'm going to leave that right there. Alright, we have a hole. We have 1 killer. We have 1 exposed victim who hasn't been tested yet. Killer phase. Killer phase. Terror card. Panic phase. Exposed victim panics. 3. He's going in the lab. How convenient. That's actually great because I'm really far away from the other test kits. Okay, panic phase, upkeep phase, blah, blah, blah. Let's go back to our action phase. Look at this. My tableau is a mess. I gotta move, man. Do I have search? I don't have a search, so there's no point in that. I'm going to walk. Did I take sprint? Did not take sprint. I have 2 close calls and 2 focuses, so that's good, I guess. I have a lot of attacking. I have a lot of attacks. Holy shit. I have Furious Strike, Critical Blow, Weak Attack, and Guard. What am I gearing up for? I'm going to walk. Part of me wants to just go towards the gray killer and, like, attack him. But my red one is also in the lab, which would be a really good time to test him. And if he is assimilated, then I can, like, attack him also right there. So maybe we'll go with that. So I'm going to... Let me move these so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to walk. Hopefully. I have, like, really far to go, so I need to be careful. It's okay, it's fine. Do I want to use a close call or do I want to discard my focus cards? I think I'm just going to use a close call. Reroll, run die or reroll. This is so hard. I'm going to reroll all dice for 2 time. How's everybody doing? How's your Friday night going so far? Oh god, okay, we got one success. So I get to move up to one space and lose one time. We're not doing good on time here, folks. But I'm gonna move out of the supply closet. So we're getting there. I'm gonna play my other walk card. And see if I can get any closer. I would love to be able to move 2 spaces and get to the lab. If I don't, this whole thing is just kind of futile. But if I at least get to the hallway, I'm still closer to the other victim. I do have one other close call if I want to re-roll, but I got 1 success, so I think I might just take it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to re-roll 1 dice, so I'm not spending any time. If I get a partial success, I can discard to change it. Alright, so I'm going to discard my focus cards to change this to a success. So I've got double success on my walk, so I'm losing a time and moving 2 spaces. So let's see. So I'm in the hallway, and then I'm going to move into the lab with the other exposed victim. Alright, so that's all of that business. So because we're in the lab, I can test the exposed victim. I haven't used a single test kit this whole time. About the hot tub, oh my god, that's amazing. I think the one thing that this map is missing is probably a hot tub. Like if they had a hot tub in the research station in the thing, it would have been a whole different movie. But I hope you enjoy your soak. Let's see what's going on with our victim here. So we need to test them. Where are my test results? We have 2 test results. I'm going to draw the top one, and we're going to see if we are assimilated or not. I'm scared. Drum roll. Safe! That's actually kind of boring. I was kind of hoping there would be another killer because I'm sick of the one I've been chasing this whole frickin' time. Alright, so red gets replaced by red with a normie. And then we discard this card. The other exposed victim was also safe. So, we only have 1 killer. A little boring, but that's how it goes sometimes. This box of Final Girl is based off of The Thing by John Carpenter. So I felt it was appropriate because that movie is set in, like, what, the Arctic, Antarctic, I don't know where they have research stations, but yes, The Thing. Yep, so we've got their little research station. It's outside. There's a fucking blizzard. You can't see where you're going. Everybody's got frostbite. People are mutating. If you remember, it is cold in that movie. That's why I thought this was appropriate, because it is 5 degrees outside right now. So probably a little warmer than the Arctic, but still on brand. I don't know if you can see, our little dudes are like, they look kind of cold. But it's okay. So very snowy, very cold. Alright, so we are still in our action phase. That victim is safe, so I don't need to do any attacking. I'm going to save my attack cards for the gray one. I need to learn their names. I know they have names, but I don't remember what they are. I'm sure that's like an easy thing to look up, but we'll do that another time. Maybe I'll write them down somewhere because I don't think they're in the book. So I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't think it names them in here, but I know I've seen their names somewhere. Oh, I bet it's in the, hold on. I keep all of the, inserts, but I don't know where it is. Okay. Oh my god. I'm so dehydrated. I'm sorry. I'm like getting a headache. Okay, great. We're still in our action phase. Like I said, I don't need to use my attack cards because there's nobody to attack. The victim is safe. I'm at full health. Everybody's good. We're good. So I'm going to move on to my planning phase. Right? Is that what we're doing? This is so weird. I need to get better weapons. I'm not going to be able to fight this guy with nothing. I need to get to the commander's hut, man. I want that flamethrower so bad. So I'm gonna need some sprint cards. I do have 2 time. So I think I'm gonna take the sprint card because I need a boogie. So give me that. And then we're gonna reset our time to 6. I'm not on the right view here. So I took the sprint card. Time reset to 6. I'm gonna put these back. 0 cost action cards in my 2 close calls. This is what we have in our hand for right now. So that's our planning phase. I'm gonna move back to the killer phase. Killer heals himself. He's at full health. And then we're gonna draw a terror card. We're getting low. There's like 2 left after this. Who can we trust? If there's no mutated organism, blah blah blah. There is. So he's going to target the closest victim or final girl. There's a victim in his space. Move towards them. It's already in his space. Attack. Yeah, kill. Okay. So this poor little dude, he's got frostbite anyway, so he's kind of over it. Move to the dead pool. We can get rid of the frostbite token. Save that for someone else. We're going to increase the bloodlust. Apply the bloodlust effect, which is our horror level going up. It's going from 0 to 1. We still have 3 dice. I'm not horribly worried about that. Okay, so that happened. That's it for our killer phase. Panic phase. There's no victims in the killer space, so they don't have to panic. And our final exposed victim is safe, so I don't have to panic anybody, which is great. Upkeep phase. I don't need to do anything there. So we're gonna go back to our action phase. So all I have is attack cards and sprint. So we're gonna sprint. I still have 3 dice, so that's nice. I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna go. I guess towards the killer. I don't want to attack him, but I need to do a lot of damage. Fuck! How is that even a thing? I rolled 3 1s. That is so lame. Sad. Baphomet is sad. Baphomet does not like that result. So I have 2 options for a complete failure at sprinting. I failed at sprinting. I tripped and fucking smashed my face. So I can, either way, I lose 1 health and lose 2 time. And then I can either move up to 1 space and end my turn, or continue my turn. There's nothing else I can do, so I'm gonna move this space, because I'm fucking losing 2 time anyway, and a health, because I face planted. I probably slipped on ice. And I get to move 1 space, so let's do that. I can actually take the victim with me. Do I want to go outside? I'm scared to go outside. Because I can't see where I'm going. So if I go outside, I'm kind of fucked. But I want to go to the commander's hut anyway. I wish there was a way to make the storm pass. That is like the most annoying thing. Fuck it. Let's do it. Like I said, I've been playing kind of chaotically today anyway. So I'm outside. We went through the hole in the lab with our victim. I mean, the killer's right there, so he's probably going to come kill the victim anyway, but we're trying our best to get them to go to the helicopter, which isn't even back yet. Like, the helicopter's still at the fucking airport. They don't want to come back to this godforsaken place. So that might not have been the smartest thing, but we did it, so hey. Alright, that's going to end my action phase. Obviously, I don't really have a choice. Planning phase. Let's take a look. Planning phase. Oh, I can discard this, so that's fine. Bye. I have 4. I'm gonna take my 0 cost. Again, I can only have 10. I already have 4, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I have 4. What do I want? I need to move. Oh, I need the helicopter. Okay. Short rest, and I have walk. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I don't take a focus, I can take 2 cards. I'm going to take the helicopter. That costs 1. And then 3. I can either take... I only get 1 more card, though, right? I'm going to take improvise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I'll take improvise. That's fine. I kind of want the close call, but I'll take improvise. Blah. Okay. Planning phase. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to my next action phase. This is crazy. I do have guard. I wish I had retaliate, but it's okay. Look at all my cards. My hand is full. I still have my flare gun, so that's nice. Ooh, I can use the flare gun to move victims. Oh, towards me? No, I want to move the victim towards the helicopter. Okay, that's it for my planning phase. I'm going to reset this. Return my discarded card to the table. I'm really thirsty. Make sure you all stay hydrated. It's very dry out there in this 5-degree weather. Planning phase. All right, we're going to move on to the killer phase. Killer regains health. He's already at max. And then we're going to draw a terror card. Oof. We've got like 1 or 2 left. Someone is destroying the tests. We got this one before. I don't need the test kits anymore because they're all fucking tested already, but whatever. Destroy the test kit from the space that's closest to you, which is going to be the tool shed, which is this. We're going to get rid of that test kit. 1 normal victim within 2 spaces of the associated space is killed. That's you, buddy. I knew it was futile to try to save him, and now I'm outside in a blizzard for no fucking reason. So he's going to get killed by Deadpool. That is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th dead victim. So he did. We're going to increase the bloodlust, which means our killer regains health. I don't know why that's even an option. He does that every turn anyway. Killer's going to move towards the closest victim. Well, we've only got 3 left. He's going to move twice. And this is where I think math comes into play because his movement speed. I'm going to move this over just because I can't tell what line it's on, and we don't have any other monsters, so it's fine. His movement speed is 2, and he's moving twice, so I think that means he gets to move up to 4 spaces. So he's going to go... He's supposed to target a victim. I'm pretty sure the closest one is Frosty over here, so 1, 2, 3, good enough. He's not attacking, though. He just moved over there, so watch out. Hi, cat. Killer phase, resolved. Panic phase. Don't really need to do that. Upkeep phase, there's not much for me to do there either. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my action phase. Oh, this is so weird and frustrating. Let me plan my life here. I have a lot of cards. Alright. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna do improvise first. And then, depending on that result, we'll see what we do next. So, 3 dice. 1 success, 1 partial success. What can I discard to make this a full success? Because that would be freaking amazing. I'm going to focus on a walk. I have 2 walks. Okay, I'm going to discard my focus and walk to make this 4 into a 5 or 6. And so we've got a full success on our improvise, which means until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. So that is amazing. Now I'm gonna roll everything else. So our helicopter is what I'm gonna do first. We're helicoptering. Actually no, I don't need the fucking helicopter because there's really no more victims that are even remotely close to the exit space. I mean, I guess I might as well anyway, but it's kind of pointless. But I have the card, so I might as well use it. All 3s and 4s are successes. Okay, I was like really disappointed for a second. So we're gonna lose 1 time. Helicopter moves 2 spaces, so they're moving from the airport. So 1 space to the air, 1 space to the station. When they're in the station, you can move them freely between the card and the space. So helicopter has come back, and they're like, where is everybody? They're all fucking dead. Discard, fly faster. All right, next. So I want to do walk and short rest. I'm going to walk first because if I fuck up short rest, which would be really difficult in my current state, I have to end my turn. So I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm going to walk first, hopefully. Oof. All right, all 3s and 4s are successes, so we at least got 1. So that means we lose 1 time. And then we move 1 space. So where do I want to go? I'm going to go towards the killer. Problem is that there's a blizzard outside. I can't see where I'm going. So all of my moves are panicked. So I have to roll a dice to determine where the fuck I'm going to go. Three. Okay, that's good. That's where I wanted to. No, that's not good. That's not good. I need a 5 or a 6 to go the direction I'm going. Wait, but if all... Oh, I think I found a paradox. I have improvise. So for the duration of this action phase, all 3s and 4s are successes. Does this count? I rolled a 3. Can I change that to a success? I need like clarification on this. What? Hold on. I need... Oh. It is... All right. I'm writing down the timestamp because I'm going to clip that and send it to Van Ryder Games and be like, what do I do in this situation? I rolled a panic roll during my action phase with improvise. Does anybody watching have an opinion? If you even are following what I'm putting down here. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know. That's too weird. My improvise card says until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. I rolled a 3. I'm taking the star. So I guess if I'm going to do that, I need to make a house rule where, like, if I'm ever in that situation again, I need to do the same thing. Because right now, doing that is working in my favor. It's putting me where I wanted to go. But if it was the opposite, I would want to apply that consistently. You know what I mean? But it's like, do I get to choose if I want to change it or not? Like, normally there's no reason why you wouldn't want to, but in this case, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I feel so weird about this. Maybe I should just leave it as a 3. I can also spend time to re-roll. But I have to roll a 5 or 6. And it's 1 dice, so that's kind of terrible. Oh, God. Can I just stay put? I literally don't know what to do. Until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. All your moves are panicked. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. I'll get clarification later. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I want to move on. So we're gonna do that. Give me my dice back. Alright. I think that was the walk card I was holding. So I'm gonna discard that. That was really confusing. Alright, I'm gonna play my short rest card and see if I can regain a health. All 3s and 4s are successes. Actually, I'm now 1 space away from the killer. I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm now 1 space away from the killer. I can use my flare gun with weak attack from 1 space away to attack. So I'm actually going to do that first in case I end up hurting myself, and then we'll do short rest. Okay. There's really no point because he's going to regain health next turn. But if I can at least do 2 damage, then 1 will stick. All 3s and 4s are successes. I didn't need it, but whatever. So I'm dealing 1 damage. Flare gun adds an additional damage, so we're dealing 2 damage. Also get to reduce the horror by 1. So I'm dealing 2 damage to the killer. He's over here. He's losing 2 health. He's going to regain 1 anyway. Reduce the horror level. Flare gun is out of ammo, so we're going to discard that. Discard my weak attack card. And then now I'm going to do short rest. This is wild, y'all. All 3s and 4s are successes. I didn't roll any 3s or 4s. That's what I get. That's what I fucking get. You piece of shit. Alright, well, I regained 1 health anyway. Horror level goes up, which is kind of okay. Lose a time, and then we have to end our turn. That's why I play short rest last, because if you fuck it up, your turn ends. So we play that last. Oh my god. Alright, action phase is over. So we're going to move on to our planning phase. I have 3 time. I'm going to take my focus because it's 0 cost. I have 3. Fuck, I really want retaliate. I really want retaliate. You can sell cards to buy time. Focus doesn't count because I literally just picked it up, so you have to do it with cards you already have. I could sell my guard card. I think I'm going to do that. That just ignores damage. It doesn't deal anything back. So I'm going to sell my guard card and gain 1 time. I never do that. The rules literally say, like, don't underestimate this, like, option or whatever. I never fucking do it. So I'm going to sell guard, get 1 time, so that's 4. So I'm going to take... Wait a minute. Oh, it's here. I'm like, where the fuck is the retaliate card? Woo! Alright, we have that now, so that's good. So that's all our time. So reset that. Discarded cards can go back in the tableau. Stupid fucking helicopter. There we go. Great. Planning phase. Killer phase. Regain health. Fuck you. And then... Oh, we have 1 more terror card after this. Tell me where it is. If there's no victims in play, there are. For each victim in your space, 0, you may look through 1 item deck. What the fuck? Place any item face up on the deck and shuffle others face down underneath. Well, that's lame. Horror level increases by 1, which is very, 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 very bad, because now it's up to 2, which means we lose a dice. Anybody who has frostbite takes damage. That's what that means. So this little dude who's been outside for like hours has frostbite. He's taking damage, which means he dies. So he goes to the dead pool. Discard that. Bloodlust goes up. Horror level goes up again. This is bad, you guys. And then our helicopter moves, which it's here. I don't want to move it anywhere, so it's just gonna fucking stay there. And these victims are never gonna get saved because they're so far away. All right, that sucked. That's it for the killer phase. This is bad. I'm gonna die. I mean, probably not, but it's not gonna be easy. This is just gonna be like a standstill because the killer recovers every single fucking turn. So even if I do damage to him, he's just gonna heal. It doesn't matter. Alright, so don't need to do anything with the panic phase, upkeep phase, blah blah blah. Whatever. So let's go back to our action phase. This is really freaking me out. I can't do anything. All I have is attack cards, but I'm not in his space and I don't have a long range weapon anymore. I do have a focus card, so I'm gonna play that because that's all I can fucking do, and our horror level's creeping up. So double success. I like it. Horror level goes down by 1, so no real change there, but we gain 2 times. So I'm gonna load up on fucking cards. Can't do anything else with my action phase. Let's take our 0 cost action cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can afford 2 more cards. I have 8 time. I think I'm going to take improvise again. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. So I have 5. And a close call. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's it, unless there's something I don't want. I kind of don't want weak attack. All right. I have 4. Ooh, give me a search. Because if I can get my ass to the commander's hut, I want the flamethrower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have so much time. I don't want to, like, waste it. Well, not so much. I have 2 left. Is there something I would rather have? I don't really need short rest right now. I want to use my focus. I need to walk. Would be nice to have things to discard. I'm going to get rid of my short rest just for card space, spend 2 time, and take a sprint. I know I have my walk cards, but if I can sprint, I can move a lot faster. And use my walk cards to discard if I need to. Okay. That's a lot of cards. Remember in the beginning of the game when I had like no cards and now I've got like a full hand the entire time? Alright, we are almost done, guys. I know I've been playing this for almost 2 hours, which is not normal. This game is supposed to take like 30 minutes. But I'm just fucking terrible at it. Okay, planning phase is done. Everything's reset. Killer phase. Resolve killer action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He recovers back to full health because fucking why not? Hey, we didn't have any dark powers, but now that I say that, we're probably about to get one. Draw our last terror card. Fucking terrified. There it is. Minor dark power. Acidic body fluids. The mutated organism closest to you, which is the only one, gets this power. When you deal 1 or more damage to this mutated organism, you lose health. Great. So he recovers health perpetually, and if I damage him, I take damage. This is gonna go great. We're gonna put that there. This health cannot be lost until all other normal health is lost. So he gets an extra health that he gets to hold on to forever. Fuck! Panic phase, NA, upkeep phase. Reveal finale if no terror cards left. That is true. We're going to reveal the finale. I'm not excited about it. I'm probably going to die very quickly. So our finale says, oh god, I don't even want to read it. Some of these are really bad. When this card is revealed, any remaining exposed victims are immediately assimilated. Thankfully, that doesn't apply. If there's only one mutated organism in play, increase the horror level twice at the beginning of the killer phase. So that'll happen next turn, okay? If the horror level is ever above 6, you've become assimilated and you lose. Fuck. I'm going to put that right there. So the next killer phase, beginning of the next killer phase, we need to increase the horror level. So I'm going to leave this here, actually, so I'll see it the next time we get to our killer phase. So that was our upkeep phase. Okay. Getting down to the wire. We're going into our next action phase. I think I'm going to take a really quick break. Or knock all my cards over. Super quick break. I'll be back in a minute. For the conclusion of Final Girl Panic at Station 2891. I have a lot of attack cards, but our killer is very souped up right now, so unless I can get a weapon, it's not gonna probably end in my favor. We are in the finale. I will be right back. All right, we're back. All right, before we continue, we're gonna give Baphomet a snack. or that. Eat a cookie. I want a cookie. Okay. Action phase. This is it, you guys. This is it. I need to fucking move. Let's see what I have for cards. I have 900 cards. Ooh, yes, yes. If I can get over there, I can search. I want to sprint. Okay. I am going to play my focus card first. I want to play improvise, but if I'd rather attempt improvise with 3 dice if I can do it. I could also try improvise with 2 dice and then try focus, but I'm going to do focus first. Okay, that works. Focus. We are so fucking focused right now. So our horror level's going down. Whee! Extra dice for us. Extra time. Brilliant. That card is like so good. Like if you get a double success on this, like that's amazing. And it's a 0 cost action card and there's 2 of them in the deck. This is like probably an underrated card. Okay. Feeling good about that. Our horror level is going to increase anyway at the beginning of the next killer phase because we're in the finale. So don't get used to it. Now I'm going to use improvise. I have 3 dice. Okay, this is okay. We got 1 success, but also a partial success. So if I want to discard anything, which I will, I'm going to discard a walk because I have another walk and sprint. And I'm going to discard my close call to change that to a success. So now I have double success on improvise, which means going forward for the rest of this action phase, all 3s and 4s are successes. Fuck you. So now we're going to sprint. Should I sprint or walk? Maybe I'll walk. Sprinting is hard. I want to get to the commander's hut, which is 2 spaces away. Now, you know what I'm going to do? Let's look at the location board real quick. So I'm here, killer's here, commander's hut is here. That's where the flamethrower is. So if I use sprint now, I have a better chance of moving up to 2 spaces, get to the commander's hut. Then I can search, get the flamethrower, and then I can walk back out to the killer's space because the flamethrower is close range. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to sprint. I feel like this has been a relatively uneventful round. Like there hasn't been a lot of attacking happening. The victim deaths have been kind of weird. There hasn't been a lot of frostbite. I haven't found a lot of items. It's kind of a strange vibe to this one. Okay, we got 2 stars anyway. So on the sprint, I get to move up to 3 spaces and we lose 1 time. So let's do our movement up to 3. I'm only going to move 2. I'm going to basically waste that 3rd movement because I don't think it carries over because I'm going to do my search card next and that's just weird. So putting my walk back in my hand. So we are in the hut. We're going to do a search. So I'm going to play search. I have 3 cards, all 3s or 3 dice, all 3s and 4s are successes. Losers, 3s and 4s are successes. Triple star. So I get to take the top 2 cards. I think I'm probably going to go with the flamethrower. I can't imagine there's going to be something better over here. Flamethrower and or oh, the roller skates. I love the roller skates because they're like a inside reference to this movie. I don't want the roller skates. When resolving movement, do not count hallways as spaces. Move 1 fewer space when starting your movement outdoors. Item is not considered in your backpack, but you can keep the card there. I don't want the fucking roller skates. I want the flamethrower. Let's be real. Okay. So we resolved the search card. I have the flamethrower now. So this takes up all the space in your hands, all the space in your backpack. It's really heavy. You can't have anything else on you when you have the flamethrower, which is totally fine. I don't need anything. I just need fire. Flamethrower has 2 uses. So we've got 2 chances to burn this fucker down. Okay. So 2 choking hazards. Come on. There we go. All right. So now I need to use my walk card to try to get back into the killer's space because this is a close range item. Again, we're still on improvise, all 3s and 4s for the duration of this action phase or successes. If I can get into the killer's space, I have like a million attack cards. I can only use the flamethrower once per turn, but with my improvise provision active, I could do some serious damage if this works. Okay. All 3s and 4s are successes. So we did get a double success on our walk. Not really necessary. I'm losing 1 time and we get to move up to 2 spaces. I only need to move 1 space. So I am in the space with the killer now. So walk has been resolved. All right. So here are my options. Critical blow and furious strike. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Normally, weapons modify an attack card. I think the flamethrower functions on its own. It deals damage equal to half of the thing's health, and it doesn't say... So I don't think you would use it to modify an existing card, right? So like normally they add damage. Critical blow, like if I get a success, it's 3 damage. And then like usually plus whatever the thing is. You're not going to do 3 damage plus half of their health. And the fact that it says must be maybe used once per action phase is leading me to believe that it's a standalone thing. So that's how I'm going to treat it. So I'm going to do that, and then I can still continue my action phase and play my other attack cards. So this motherfucker's going down, man. This is crazy. All right, so if we use 1 use of the flamethrower, so I put 1 choking hazard back in the bag, maybe used once per action phase to deal damage equal to half the killer's current health rounded down. So my killer technically currently has 8 health because he has his dark power active. So we're going to deal 4 damage to the killer. This one comes off last, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Due to the dark power, it says when you deal 1 or more damage to this mutated organism, you lose health. So I'm going to also lose 1 of my health tokens. So here we go. All right, so I have 5 health, including my final token. He's got 4 health, including his final token. All right, so that was my 1 use of my flamethrower. I can only do it once per action phase, so that's done. I'm still in my action phase. I can still play action cards. I have Furious Strike and I have Critical Blow. I think I'm going to play Critical Blow. That would give me 3 damage, which would pretty much bring him down to his final health. We'll save Furious Strike in case that one doesn't work. But if I fail, I have to end my turn. So that'll have to be on a different turn. So we've got 3 dice. We still have Improvise. So for the duration of the action phase, all 3s and 4s are successes. Nice. We got 2 successes anyway and a 3, so technically 3 stars. So critical blow, we are fully successful on that. So I get to deal 3 damage and reduce the horror level by 1. So I'm going to reduce the horror level now. And then we're going to deal 3 damage to our killer. So 1, 2. Now here's what's weird. With the dark power active, when we deal 1 or more damage, I lose health. But because we're removing the health from the dark power card, the dark power goes away. So this is kind of another thing I would want to clarify. I'm probably just going to take the health away from myself anyway because we're close to the end of the game here. But what resolves first? Do I remove this health and now the dark power is no longer in effect so I don't lose that health? Or because we dealt damage in the first place, we lose a health? You know what I mean? So there's some ambiguities here with the rules. Which is kind of interesting. So this health cannot be lost until all other normal health is lost. So the reason they do that is so that that minor dark power stays active and you continue to lose your health whenever you deal damage. Normally minor dark powers are the first thing to go. But we did it. So he's losing his health. Like I said, I will take away 1 of mine because I feel like I've done a couple of other things that were kind of maybe a little selfish. So we'll do that. We'll get clarification on that later. Okay, so that brought him down to his final health token, so we don't have to do anything with that because there's no residual damage to be dealt. So now I need to decide. Critical blow's been resolved. I think I'm gonna do Furious Strike because then that we'll figure out what's going on with his final health. So basically when the killer's down to 1 health, if you kill them, you take that last health, they kind of have an opportunity to like come back to life as they do in horror movies quite often. So I am going to do 1 more attack, which is going to be Furious Strike. We still have Improvise. All right, I got 1 success, so that's okay. Weirdly, our horror level goes down, which we're already at the bottom, so that means we get another time. Super weird. I'm dealing 1 damage. 1 damage, and then I have to end my turn. But let's resolve that damage. So he's on his final health token, okay? So with 1 damage, we're going to reveal that. Oh my god, he's fucking dead. That's so amazing. Okay, so we did manage to kill him. He's not coming back. We won. That was really weird. I had a lot of stuff going for me in that end phase. So that's great because if he had come back, a couple things we would have been dealing with is that our horror level would have gone up by 2. First of all, he would have recovered health because that's what he does. And then our horror level would have increased because of the finale. So it still wouldn't have been too bad because our horror level would only be at 2. He would have like whatever his final health token is plus 1. But I'm also not doing too hot over here either, and I just used all my attack cards. So that would have really drawn out if he did come back. But he didn't. The flamethrower was freaking instrumental. The improvised card was very instrumental. We had our horror level pretty low for a lot of that whole game, which gave me 3 dice, so that improved our chances a lot too. And we only had 1 killer. Like, you can have up to 3 killers, so it's obviously a little less dangerous when there's only 1. So yeah, that is Final Girl Panic at Station 2891 with the Organism. Like I said, this box takes inspiration from John Carpenter's The Thing. That shouldn't really be surprising for anyone who's seen it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I knew it was a little chaotic because I was still kind of working on some setup stuff, and it's been a little while since I've played this one. There are a lot of supplemental rules for this, but like I said, once you kind of play through it a couple of times, it's really fun to get into. There's a bunch of different boxes. This one's definitely one of the more complicated ones. There's a lot that only have one killer, so I would suggest those if you're just starting out. But once you kind of get used to the flow of the phases, you can start adding in more complex boxes and get into some more of the different rules and mechanics and whatnot. So really fun game. I recommend it. It is single player, so it's a great kind of way to kill some time if you're on your own or don't have any friends available for your board game night. It'll keep you busy. Like I said, I don't know why every time I play this game it takes me 2 hours. I watch other playthroughs and they take like 20-30 minutes. So obviously I'm doing a lot of explaining while I'm playing too, but shouldn't really take this long, so don't be intimidated by the length of my videos. But thank you for watching. Happy Friday. I'm gonna go back to streaming Forgive Me Father 2 on Fridays next month. My plan is to do a Final Girl stream on the final Friday of every month. So hopefully we can do that. Like I said, I've got other boxes to explore, so there'll be some variety there. But otherwise the schedule is Doom 2 on Tuesdays, so we'll be picking that up in a few days, followed by Forgive Me Father on next Friday. So enjoy. Hope you guys are staying warm, and it doesn't look like we're supposed to get any snow this weekend, so we'll keep our 2 feet and wait for it to melt in a couple months. Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys later.